Namaste everyone. Thank you Mr. Eric and World Food Travel Association for giving me the opportunity to speak about this topic which is very close to my heart. By this time I'm sure everyone would know what exactly Namaste means. It's an Indian way of greeting each other where we avoid handshake, we just fold our hands and say Namaste. I'll just quickly give you a brief outline about my presentation. I'm first going to talk about what exactly is Indian cuisine and how it is perceived in other countries. Secondly, street food and its impact on the food culture of a place. And third, how we integrate both of them into promoting and preserving the culinary culture. Let us first talk about how is Indian food perceived in other countries. Let me tell you, I have never been anywhere outside India except our neighboring country, that is Nepal. So whatever I'm going to talk about is just by my interactions with the people from all over the world whom we have hosted on our food walks. If you ask anyone, the first dish which they have tried outside India, 100% they are going to say it's curry. I'm not sure whether you have watched the Ugly Delicious series on Netflix, where the great American chef David Chang dedicated one whole episode on curry and he tried to figure out what exactly is Indian curry. So if you haven't watched it, just please watch it. Even many international chefs have come to India in search of curry. And on my food tours, many people who come on our food tours, they ask for curry powder. But most of the time we don't have any answer. Because for us, anything which has the consistency of a gravy is curry. And there's nothing called curry powder or curry masala. Every household, they have a different spice mix which we call curry masala or curry powder. So it's a very difficult question to answer if someone asks us what is curry. And it is a dish which has been given to us by Britishers because India was a colony of Britishers for a long time. The second most popular dish after curry would be butter chicken or the UK's national dish, that is chicken tikka masala. And third would be naan. Let me tell you, these two dishes are just cuisine or couple of dishes from one particular region in India, that is Punjab. It doesn't define Indian cuisine. I will later explain you what exactly is Indian cuisine. Third, many people who come on our tours, they ask for chai tea. There is nothing called chai tea in India. If you are saying chai tea, chai, chai. Chai is tea is chai. So when you say chai tea, you are saying twice chai, chai. Fourth, the greatest myth about Indian food is that it's spicy. There's a difference between spiciness and hotness. The food could be spicy, but it won't be hot. So it's a great myth about Indian food that is spicy. Now, in recent times, I have observed over social media many people all over the world they've started talking about turmeric milk or golden milk or turmeric latte, which is essentially milk mixed with turmeric powder. Let me tell you, in India, we have been drinking this combination of turmeric and milk since ages. Till date, at my home, whenever I have cold or cough, or if I have any injury, the first thing which my mom offers is milk and turmeric or turmeric mixed with honey. So this was my observation about how Indian food is perceived in other countries. Now let us move on to the next topic. What exactly is Indian cuisine? Let me share first quick facts about India. India is a huge country with 1.38 billion people. We have a borderline of 15,200 kilometers. We have 28 states and 9 union territories. We have a coastline of 7,200 kilometers. We share boundary with 7 countries. And if you just talk about my home state, which is Delhi, we have a population of 25 million people. And if you compare it with some countries, let's say Norway or New Zealand, they have the population of 4 to 5 million people. So the whole country is 4 to 5 million, and just one of the states in India or the place where I live is just 25 million people. It's like 4 or 5 times of Norway or New Zealand. So why I've shared this is just to give you an idea. There can't be a uniform food culture when the country is huge. And secondly, we also have a lot of diversity in terms of religion, in terms of people living in different parts of India. We have tribal regions, we have rural regions. So there cannot be any uniform food culture. The food culture is more complex than it seems. India is also a diverse and a plural society. We have regions which have different food cultures, then we have religion, then we have tribal regions. The geographical nature also changes from north to south, from east to west to northeast. We have coastal regions, we have hill regions. The food which is consumed in coastal region would be different from the food which will be consumed in the plains. It all depends on what is locally grown. And people have been following eat local in India since ages. So it will be wiser to say that after every 50 kilometers, the food changes in India. Another interesting fact about Indian food is that one third of Indian food, what we eat today, is foreign. Chilies came from Central America, wheat and onion from West Asia, potato and tomato from South America, Portuguese brought it to India. Same goes to spices. Some of the spices, if we remove it from our food will be very bland. Tea. Tea is our national drink, but it came to India from China via British India Company. When Britishers were ruling in India, they brought it from China to India because they found the soil to be conducive to grow tea in India. Now coming to the most popular dish outside India, one more popular dish is samosa. Samosa came from Middle East to India. That time it was stuffed with meat. But in India, majority of people were vegetarians, so we created our own version that was aloo samosa, that is potato samosa. One more dish, vindaloo, which is a very popular dish and is a part of their restaurant menu. You'll find it in London or Los Angeles. It's a very popular dish of Goa, which is an Indian state in India, but it has origins in Portugal. It is a misspelled version of a popular Portuguese dish that goes by the name of carne de vinha luz. Literally translated, this means meat that have been marinated in vinegar and garlic. Alos is Portuguese for garlic. So in Portuguese they call garlic alos. So it's a misspelled version and became very popular outside India, but it's a dish introduced to India by Portuguese. But we used our local ingredients and spices available and made it part of Indian cuisine. All of these food may not have been originated in India, but they are so entrenched in our culture now that it is hard to imagine the Indian flavors without them. I am very fortunate that I have traveled to almost 18 states of India. I have tried food from each nook and corner, but still I can say it with 100% that no one can ever say that they have tasted all the dishes, all the cuisines of India in their whole lifetime. It's such a huge country with different variations. So what we say Indian food is not only food from of whole of India. What is known in other countries is authentically food from different regions of India. Now coming to second part of my talk, street food in general and specifically in India. We all know what street food is. In simple terms, street food are reasonably priced, affordable and easily available. So here I will talk about how street food defines the food culture of a place. Let me start with an example of India. In India, as I have given you an example that we have different regions and different regions have different food culture. Similarly, our street food represents the variety of foods available in different regions of India. It represents the multicultural fabric better than the food in restaurants. Every region has different specific street food. You travel length and breadth of the country, you see the food culture, the street food changing from one place to other place. Let me give an example of Delhi. Delhi is a political capital and people have migrated from different parts of India, in fact different parts of world to Delhi. And we have different regions where they serve different kind of street food. We have a mini Tibet, which is a Tibetan refugee colony where you get Tibetan style street food. We have in South Delhi there's a place called Lajpat Nagar in Delhi where you get Afghani food. Then we get Chinese street food. It's an Indian version of Chinese food on streets of India everywhere in Delhi, Kolkata, everywhere. Like you go, the most popular dish after Indian food would be Chinese food. That's our own version of Chinese food, but you get everywhere. Secondly, the street food reflects the traditional local culture. As in the Indian case, there's so much of diversity in the usage of ingredients and the preparation style of Indian dishes. You will see if you go to one place, there the food will be cooked in clay pots. Second place, the street food will be cooked in bamboo tubes. The third place, it will be cooked over a pan. So the cooking technique changes from one place to other place, and the local ingredients are used in cooking of that food. The recipes in many Indian restaurants are also inspired from street food. I'm sure you all would know about Indian accent that is considered to be India's best restaurant. They have a dish called Daulat ki chaat, which is a kind of a seasonal delicacy which you get only in the winter's time on the streets of Old Delhi. So they have started serving that in their restaurant as well. So you can see there's a long journey which our street food has covered from the streets to a fine dine restaurant. And for me, the street food is not only about the taste; it's also about bonding with the customers. So when you go to a street food joint or a street food cart, the way the owner interacts with you will be very different from the restaurant owner interacts with you. So it's more about personalized services which you get. It's also about you get to know the street vendors. It's also about how you are contributing to the economy, the local economy, by buying the food from the street vendors. Next, major tourist destinations abroad have food streets where you get the local food at one place. The concept of traditional food has acquired new dimensions in developed countries. Like I was reading a report, Time Magazine survey of 2004, and then there's other report on CNN report of March 2012, where they find Asia's 10 greatest street food cities. Unfortunately, India is not part of that, but in Thailand's Bangkok, Malaysia's Penang, Taiwan's Taipei, Korea's Seoul, Philippines Manila, Cambodia's Phnom Penh. So these countries are very popular for Asian street food. To sum up, Indian street food sector is quite unorganized, but I'm sure over the period of time, because of this COVID which is happening, I'm sure the government will take steps and they will organize street food vendors into more of organized structure and create a proper food street where we can also get street food at one place. And it's also one more fact I wanted to share with you all. Many countries they organize food festivals. I know in Sweden they have a festival called Namaste Sweden, where many food vendors from India they go to Sweden and they set up food stalls, and you can taste the authentic delicacies of India at under one roof. So I think food festivals is a big way of introducing non-Indians about Indian cuisine. So what is happening in Sweden can be replicated in other countries as well. Now coming to the last part of my talk, how do you preserve and promote culinary culture, and how food tour companies and destinations come into picture. So in my talk, I have tried to demonstrate what exactly is not Indian food, what is Indian food, and how street food defines the culture of a place. So when anyone comes on our food tours, the first thing we try to do is break the preconceived notions. Like there's not a single dish that can come under curry. There are many different kinds of curries. It's quite difficult to explain that there is not only a single dish that is curry. Secondly, there's nothing called chai tea. Third, there's nothing called naan bread. Fourth, the age old practices of what we are consuming as a part of our daily diet is something not new for Indian culture. So we try to break all the preconceived notions and we try to demonstrate what is authentic Indian cuisine. Anyone who is a part of a food tour company would be doing that in their respective countries or in their respective food tours. We try to do a lot of sharing of oral history. We try to educate the participants about the origin of the food, how that food was introduced to their respective countries, what is the authentic way of cooking it, what all ingredients goes into cooking. So we do a lot of sharing of oral history, and in such a way we are trying to preserve the culinary culture of a place. So food tour companies plays a very important role in preserving the food culture of a place. Let me paint a picture in front of you, or in fact do a storytelling. Suppose you all are part of a food tour which we are conducting in Old Delhi, which is considered to be the food capital of India. If we are going to a tea place, so how will I conduct a food tour there? How I will introduce you to tea of that particular place. So first I will start with the origin of tea. How tea came from China via Britishers to India. Secondly, I'll talk about different kinds of tea you get in different regions of India. Third, how the tea is cooked in that particular place. We add milk, we add tea leaves, we add spices, we add sugar, and how it is served in clay cups. How the tea is cooked over charcoal. Fourth, I'll talk about the vendor. Says how long he has been making tea, and fifth, I'll talk about the people who come to that shop to drink the tea every day. So when you are having a tea in that particular place, you get the complete knowledge about tea. So when you go back to your country, you carry many things. You learned about the tea, how it is made, and also you have also contributed to the local economy by paying the local street food vendor for that particular cup of tea. So in this way, we are trying to preserve the culinary culture of that tea shop. Then we are also promoting the culinary culture of that tea shop. At the end, I would just like to say the food tour connects people, food, and culture. I wish you all can come on our food tour one day and experience it. And I also like to thank Mr. Eric and World Food Travel Association. We are doing a great job of promoting food culture of different countries. I wish I can contribute more. And in future, if you have any questions related to this topic or any topic related to food tours, please feel free to write to me on my email anubhavsapra@gmail.com. ANUBHAVSAPRA at gmail.com. Thank you.